Hello friends, welcome back to my channel again. I'm Vijay Lohar here. Today in this session we'll talk about internal security features available with our Cisco device. In earlier session we have already discussed about firewalls and access control list, but basically the firewall technology prevent unauthorized access from outside our internal network. But in this session we'll talk about internal security we can configure in our Cisco switch. So the topic is port security. A Cisco switch can be configured with port security for preventing internal unauthorized network access. It's a device-based security. We can define which device will be authorized to access network resource from which specific port, or how many devices can be connected using a specific port as well. It will enhance your internal network security as well as it will increase your network performance. So let's see how to configure port security in our Cisco switch. As you can see here, I have added a basic topology for the port security and I have given some to-do list here. As you can see here, what we have to do, we have to enable port security, we have to define MAC address for the port, and we'll have to we have to verify the violation, and further we'll define some other method of assigning port. As you can see here, I have a switch 2960 model and there is a router. I have assigned IP address for the router is 192.168.0.1, and I have already assigned IP address for the computers, as you can see here, 192.168.0.2, and so on for all computers, 3, 4, 5, and this one is 6. So let's see how to configure port security for the interface. This is a newly added switch, so there is nothing as configured right now, as you can see here. So running configuration, it's a default configuration. So what we are going to do here is, let's make the situation for the interface, like this one is the valid computer will access resource from this interface, and this interface is fast Ethernet 0x1. So we are going to apply port security for fast Ethernet 0x1 here. What we have to do here is configure terminal, and interface fast Ethernet 0x1. So what we have to do with this interface, we have to enable port security for the interface. So first of all, the port must be in access mode. So I will use command switch port mode access. Okay, and now I am going to enable port security on this interface. So the command will be switch port security. Done. So the port security has enabled now on fast Ethernet 0x1. So what will be the condition of security? That the switch port security, the maximum number or maximum device or maximum MAC address will be 1. So only one MAC address will be authorized to access this interface, and which MAC address will be allowed to access resource from this interface, we will have to define the MAC address for this interface. So I'm going to define the valid MAC address for the port. I'm assigning port manually. What is the MAC address of this PC? I'll use command ipconfig /all. You must use /all. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to shine on switch. So the command will be switch port security. We have already enabled the port security on interface, and further we have defined maximum only one MAC address will be allowed, and the MAC address will be this one, MAC address of this PC. Okay, so let's try. But before trying to access resource from this computer, let's verify some other configuration. Like, so running configuration, you can see that we have enabled our port security on fast Ethernet 0x1. The access mode is enabled, port security is enabled, and further we have defined MAC address, this one, for the interface fast Ethernet 0x1. And again I'll verify show MAC address table, and you can see the MAC address is already binded with the fast Ethernet 0x1. And if I want to clear this one, clear MAC address table, and it will clear a MAC address table. And now if I verify, there is no MAC address at all inside our switch. So let's access some network resource. As I am trying to ping router, the IP address of router is 192.168.0.1, and we are getting reply. It means I am able to access resource from this interface. Now if I verify the MAC address, so MAC address table, as you can see here, 24 number port is connected with the router. So this port, that is fast Ethernet 0x1, is this one. This is the MAC address of this computer, and is allowed to access resource from fast Ethernet 0x1. So if you want to verify the rule or the security, you can use command show port security, and as you can see here, we have port security for fast Ethernet 0x1. The maximum address is 1. This is only one MAC address is allowed from this interface, and current address count is 1, and the security violation, till now there is no any violation, and if any violation occurs, the action will be shut down. So the interface will be automatically going to shut down if any other computer try to access resource from the same interface. So let's try to do that. I'm just creating violation by connecting other PC with the same interface. So try to access this device with the same interface, that is fast Ethernet 0x1. It will take some time to initialize because of a spanning tree protocol. If you want to instantly enable your interface, you can configure terminal interface fast Ethernet 0x1, and I am just spanning tree port fast. It will instantly enable your port, and as you can see here, our port is enabled now, and I am trying to access router using 192.168.0.1, and I am not able to ping because this is not that computer which is allowed with the interface fast Ethernet 0x1. And as you can see here, our interface went to down. So how to enable that again? Now I am trying to connect the same computer with the same interface. As you can see here, I am connecting fast Ethernet 0x1, but the interface is still down. So how to get it back up? I'll have to interface mode, and I'll use command shutdown, and further I'll use command no shutdown, and it will enable your port. And if I try to access router, I'm able to ping again now. Okay, so let's proceed with the next one, and that is so defining valid MAC address using sticky method. So what it will do, what a sticky method will do, as you can see here, I am connecting second computer to port number 10. Okay, so what I am going to do here is I am going to enable port security for the interface fast Ethernet 0x10. Okay, so first of all we'll have to enable access mode, switch port mode access. Okay, and now switch port security for enabling port security enabled, and again I'll use command switch port security maximum I'm assigning this interface for 2 MAC address. Okay, so 2 MAC address will be allowed to connect through this interface, and I'll define that switch port security, MAC address. As you can see here, I can define sticky. So what this option, that is sticky, will do, it will automatically bind the MAC address which is connected with this interface, and we have defined 2 MAC address which will be binded. So it's done. Exit, exit, exit. Let's try to access the resource from this PC. Ping 192.168.0.1. Yes, we are getting reply because it's a valid PC with the valid MAC address. How to verify that? We haven't assigned any MAC address for the interface, but as you can see here, so MAC address table. Okay, so now I'm trying to connect with second one with the same interface. So just disconnect this one, or you can just disconnect this one and connect with this PC. And now I'm trying to, let's enable the fast port for the interface. Configure terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/10, spanning tree port fast. It is just to avoid or ignore the spanning tree. So let's ping 192.168.0.1. even this system is allowed to access because we had defined 2 maximum MAC address will be allowed to access resource from this interface. Okay, so let's again verify. So MAC address table, as you can see, the port number 10 is having 2 different MAC address, and they both are able to access resource from fast Ethernet 0/10. So let's try to violate the interface. So I'm going to connect. So I'm going to try to connect this PC, and it will be the violation because we have defined only 2 MAC address for the interface, but now I am connecting the third one. So let's see how will be the situation. Like 192.168.0.1, I am trying to access router, but I am not able to ping right now because the violation has occurred and the interface is down now. So let's verify again the MAC table. As you can see here, there is no MAC table right now because 10 number port is in down state. So what we have to do here is so port security option, and we can see that there is a violation count with the port number 10, and here it is, and the interface went to down automatically. So again, if I try to connect the valid PC with the same interface, it will be still down. So what we have to do here is we did it earlier. So interface fast Ethernet 0/10 should be shut down, and further no shutdown, and it will be up. And now if I try to access resource from this interface, I'm getting reply. So this is the sticky method of assigning MAC address. It will bind automatically your MAC address with the interface, but earlier we used to define MAC address manually. So now let's change the violation action. As you can see here, if I use command switch port security for the interface fast Ethernet 0, right now I am in fast Ethernet 0/10, and I am defining switch port security, and the violation option, we can see there are 3 different actions we can define for the interface, that is protect mode, and that is restrict mode, and shutdown. And by default your interface went to shut down if we do not define any violation action. So what to do here, if we set protect option, what it will do. So earlier we used to connect this computer, because this one is not a valid computer, and we tried to access the resource and the interface went to down. And again, when we connected the valid machine, even though that was in down state. So what we had to do there, we had shut down and no shutdown to activate. Okay, as you can see here. But if we set the violation action as port switch port security, violation will be protect. Okay, so what it will do, if I connect some invalid PC with the same interface and I'll try to access resource, it's not going to down the interface, as you can see here, but this is just ignoring the traffic from this computer. Okay, so if I try to connect the valid PC, it will be able to connect. So we do not need to shut down and no shutdown command to be execute in our Cisco switch. So this will just protect from unauthorized access, but it will not shut down your interface. And the last one is the violation when we set our action to restrict. Like if we set our violation to restrict mode, it will do nothing like shut down, but it will work like protect mode. In this mode, it is not going to shut down your interface, but it will generate a log for the administrator. So guys, this is the port security. I hope you like this video. If so, please subscribe with our channel. Until next session, bye bye.